Hmm. So, we have this fellow here ranting for vengeance. He's, seems like an interesting guy. Let's see what we got here.
So the trailer has just dropped for a brand new Iron Man TV series, and oh wait, it's not Tony Stark, it's some ugly black bitch who knows.
Oh. Okay. Okay, all rip. Insults already flying. I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm just gonna let this guy cook, and it's not even cooking, it's burning down the kitchen.
Nobody cares about.
I want to build something undeniable, something
Important?
iconic.
I'm kind of retarded.
And wouldn't you know it, the person behind this woke piece of crap is the anti-white scumbag Ryan Coogler.
Oh nah. Really? You know what? I've seen this guy's videos before. I'm blind reacting to this one specifically. Only time I ever watch them is when somebody else is reviewing them because I hate to give this guy watch hours and views and from that extent money. Uh, every time I watch these videos, he always seems to inject some form of race into it somehow, whether it be calling people of diverse skin tones and backgrounds and ethnicities all sorts of names, like, you know, you know what? Let me just
But before we get into it, if you want to help with the channel, maybe consider subscribing or becoming a
no.
was released. First word is already utterly insane. Iconic. We're obviously talking about Iron Man as in Tony Stark, the amazing comic book character that everybody knows. Robert Downey Jr. in the Avengers and his own film series. Oh no, you're talking about Riri Williams. Some character that was created like last week. Hashtag Ironheart, which nobody's gonna hashtag on Twitter, by the way. Marvel Television's all new series
You'd be surprised what people will hashtag on Twitter.
from executive producer Ryan Coogler. So that explains it. The guy behind the new successful hit film Sinners, which is a load of garbage. Everything about this.
Look, I haven't seen Sinners, but from the money it's bringing in, I was actually at the movie theater when Thunderbolts premiered, and I will tell you, when the next showing of Sinners hit, the theater was packed, like at least 100 people. And this is a Regal theater; it's pretty big. Like lines for snacks, people were standing around, and the crowd was massive. If you look online, everybody is still raving about Sinners. So don't discredit that movie. I haven't seen it personally, but all I've heard is good stuff.
Guy just embodies Black Lives Matter. And not only did he work on Sinners, which is a piece of crap, he also worked on the two Black Panther movies. You know those excellent Marvel movies? No, you don't, because nobody watched them.
I'm actually about to start tweaking. Like, if you. That's just blatantly false. If you look at the box office for Black Panther 1, it grossed over $1 billion. You mean to tell me nobody watched that movie? Sure, buddy.
Especially the second one, with race-swapped Namor and female Black Panther running around. And just before we
Yo, you do know Shuri became Black Panther in the comics well before 2022 when Wakanda Forever came out, right? Like, if you look at the comics, pretty much everybody has been every superhero at some point or another.
go any further, let's actually look where I saw this trailer coming from, which is a massive account on Twitter that gives most people the news about upcoming movies. And they have only the accounts that Discussing Film mentioned who can reply. If you come over here again, they're posting up the poster, the marketing, trying to hype people up for this TV show. And only the people who they mentioned can reply. So it's very clear that they're not allowing anybody to speak their mind on this because no one wants to watch this. The same way absolutely nobody read the comic, nobody read Ironheart, and nobody cares about Riri Williams.
Dude, see, here's the thing. People care about, like, every character. People didn't care about the Guardians of the Galaxy when they came out, and that franchise was made. Let's just see here. How much did Guardians 3 make? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 made almost $1 billion, 845 million worldwide, on a $250 million budget. Brought in 3 times the amount of money that was spent to make it. And before 2014, when the first one came out, nobody had a clue who the Guardians were. So, just saying. Marvel and the MCU have a pretty high chance and a lot of potential to make people care about characters who were previously unknown or who nobody cared about.
She's not even a character. The same with Miles Morales. Nobody cares about him. Is he Peter?
Oh my god. Let let's just see here. Are you aware of two films with the third one on the way that are currently called Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse respectively? They are pretty big films. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they star this guy that you just mentioned, Miles Morales, and people seem to love his character quite a bit. Just a mild amount. Just a $690 million amount that they love this guy.
Parker? No, then I don't want to hear about him. Is it Tony Stark? No, then it's not Iron Man. But without further ado, let's
Nobody said that Ironheart is Iron Man. There's specifically a different name for the character. So I don't get. Let me just replay this so I'm making sure I'm understanding you.
want to hear about him. Is it Tony Stark? No, then it's not Iron Man. But
Yeah, nobody said that Ironheart is supposed to be an Iron Man replacement explicitly. I will say there's. It seems like she might be the next Iron Man in terms of character archetype, but nobody said she's replacing Tony Stark in terms of taking over his character arc and pushing him out of the public eye. That's just blatantly false.
without further ado, let's actually take a look at this piece of trash.
IT.
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
You black spear chucker piece of shit!
Yeah, so basically none of this looks good. And if you think it looks good, you're clearly lying to yourself. And also, as I just mentioned,
Oh, gee, thanks, buddy.
nobody really cares about Ironheart. But even if you did, this actress doesn't even look like...
Dude, what does it matter? If you read the comics, do you think the version of Gamora Zoe Saldana played looks like the same one for the comics? No! Look at comic book Drax before 2014. These are not really the same character in terms of design. Did it matter? No. Do people still love them? Yes. It really doesn't matter if a person looks like the character as long as they feel like the character.
the character. This looks like a 50-year-old ugly black woman who
Oh my god. First of all, never let those words come out of your mouth in that order again. I don't think I met a single black woman who was ugly. Secondly, who asked you? What? Look at this guy. I know he wants to say the N-word so badly. Look at his face. His brain's filled with hatred, bro. I know you are not calling other people ugly.
be in Walmart screaming about racism and food stamps or something. And also, before you come at me talking about how I'm bringing in race, this guy Ryan Coogler, all he does is make normal movies and TV shows, but make it all about black people. And all...
Okay, what's wrong with that? Like, are you saying black people don't deserve their own shine and spotlight? But let me not put words in your mouth per se. Let me hear you out.
Almost every single person in this TV show is not white, and if they are, they're probably an absolute moron.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
So this new TV show isn't really trending, nobody's really talking about it, proving my point. But I do think that some people do need to point out how kind of insane this is. Like this right here, Ryan Coogler and the behind the scenes of the all new series talking about Ironheart.
I got into Marvel as a kid, going to comic book shops. I was really big on X-Men and all of the offshoots, like X-Factor and Wolverine. When Ironheart came out, I remember the buzz around the industry. I was really excited.
So I'm just gonna have to stop you right there, Ryan. First of all, can you open up your mouth when you speak? You sound like a gangster from the hood. Yeah.
That's crazy. I just think about this. Let me.
Can you open up your mouth when you speak?
I know you're not talking. In both ways, I know you're not talking. Like, let's just slow this down for a second. Let's see how you talk, buddy.
You sound like a gangster.
You're barely even opening your mouth, bruh. Like, you should not be criticizing how other people speak when you say film. And also, you barely let him make his point. You should at least let him cook. And thirdly, gangster, really, that's all you had. You know, you see a black person, and the first thing you think is the hood, you know.
From the hood. Yeah, well, I was really into X-Men and I was into this. Okay, nobody cares
Sure.
if you picked up one X-Men comic book back in the 90s like everybody else did. And then also onto your absolutely retarded statement, because you yourself are retarded. You said
Really? Really? That's what you came up with? That's what you had?
that when Ironheart dropped, I just remember the buzz around the industry. There was just this massive buzz. No, there wasn't. Nobody knows what that is. They didn't know what it was back then, and nobody's reading it now. Well, no.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this guy is 17, but just to be sure, we'll call him 18. The first Ironheart comic came out May of 2016. So this guy would have been like 10 at best if we assumed that he was 18 at the time. That's a little embarrassing, don't you think, to be criticizing something that you barely even have knowledge of yourself?
Nobody except black retards like yourself.
Whoa, whoa. That really just of all the things, you never say those words in that order again.
In 2016, Brian Michael Bendis, a really famous creative in the comic book world, created a character, Riri Williams. A lot of people think that she's a successor to the Iron Man legacy. But in the comic book, Riri and Tony had a friendship. He was kind of advising her, and eventually she got her own identity.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you right there again. I don't really know what you're talking about because of the accent or the way you're not opening up your mouth.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Videos like this one, but it doesn't change the truth, and the truth is that nobody knows what this is. And I just found a few tweets saying crap like this. I'm fully prepared to give my life defending Ironheart from those people who hate her for just existing. You couldn't be more correct. With everything in my heart, I hate this character. I hate everything it stands for. I hate the people who are pushing the new TV show and talking about the character as if she even means something. Because if you're doing
Oh, really? So here's my question. If you don't think Ironheart means anything, then by the same metric you're using here, why would Tony Stark mean anything? Why would Steve Rogers mean anything? Why would anybody mean anything to you? If you hate characters so much for what they stand for, then you should hate everybody, right? Because Ironheart stands for a lot of the same things that other more popular heroes stand for as well. I don't understand your point here because your point comes from a basis of basic misunderstanding of the source material.
all of that, it can only mean one thing, and that is that you hate white people. So sorry to break it to
Okay, I'm pretty sure you hate black people from the way you speak on their names, man.
you, but I'm gonna hate you back, and by God, I'm gonna enjoy it. So screw Ryan Coogler, and screw Ironheart, and screw all these people on the front line who are gonna be defending it. And if you got a problem with anything I said, go complain to your boyfriend.
You know what? Why are you flipping off the camera like the person on the other end is gonna say anything about
If you
it?
got a problem with anything I said, go.
Like what do you so cringe, dog. What do you expect people to do? Oh, you doing the middle finger. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so hurt. Oh, I must rage in the comments about this. Nobody cares that much. It's not as cool as you think it is. In fact, in this frame, you kind of look like a middle schooler who just got into an argument with their friend, like a 12-year-old, and you want to be all gangster, so you throw up the middle finger at them so they feel upset. It's not cool. Like, it's just like my guy from Invincible said.
Swearing doesn't make you cool.
Man, and neither is throwing up the middle finger. And also, just speak with some respect when you speak about people, man, because these are actual people, actors and actresses, directors and filmmakers and writers who you're speaking on right here, who have feelings and don't deserve the racism you place upon them. It's literally racism. I don't say that lightly. Like, you genuine hatred, honestly. In the title, Ironheart's BLM woke garbage, like a story about a black person can't divulge itself from the things we see in the media. Open your mind, don't be so narrow. Like, at least bother to enlighten yourself before you go on and make all these crazy points about, oh, it's work trash. The show's not even out. You're going off of exactly 2 minutes and 46 seconds of trailer footage and a minute and 47 clip of Ryan Coogler talking about his love for the comics. You have basically a box of scraps right here. You're not doing much, you're not given much to do things with, and yet you somehow crafted this narrative that it's going to be woke garbage, and you hate everybody in it, and everyone's ugly. You keep insulting people's appearances like it's some critical blow, but it's not. If you're gonna judge media, you should judge it on fair ground, based on the writing and the cinematography and the character development and the performances, but not based on someone's physical appearance. Like, anyway, I've wasted enough of my breath, time, and energy on this, man. I'm done with this video. I'm gonna upload a video about Thunderbolts of Sam Wilson some point this year, but I've had enough of this nonsense. See ya.
Wake up, filthy.